Welcome to Ringside101. Class is in session. My name is Emmanuel. My colleague's name is Stefan, and we're here to give you some delightful insight in regards to this fight game we all love, boxing. So let's get started, Stefan. We have an amazing fight coming up, kicking off our St. Patty's Day weekend, March 15th. Irish-bred fighter Jono Carroll will face the IBF super featherweight champion of the world, Tevin Farmer, for his third title defense. What do you have to say about this fight?
This is going to be a great one. It's going to be a good one. I mean, there's a really nice undercard featuring Gabe Rosado, also from Philadelphia, 24-11, versus Masih Sulicki. Sulicki, he's a really underrated fighter. His only loss was to Daniel Jacobs. He's a Polish fighter, top 5 WBO middleweight, and the fight with him and Jacobs was a really, really close fight in which he took Jacobs by surprise. So I think he's definitely going to take that one. And also on the undercard, we have Katie Taylor versus Rose Vellante. This is a women's fight. And as we all know, Katie Taylor is one hell of a boxer. So this is going to be a great undercard. It's going to be a really, really good undercard.
Definitely. And yes, the undercard is very interesting to me as well, but everybody knows the big matchup coming up is the Jono Carroll and Tevin Farmer fight. Southpaw versus Southpaw, very interesting matchup. Jono Carroll is a very pressure fighter. He likes to put pressure on his opponents and give him a brawler type of style. And he will be in the face of Tevin Farmer. Tevin Farmer is a little bit more different, actually a lot more different. He's more of a technical defensive fighter who could fight on the inside, who could fight on the outside. But I definitely would suggest Tevin, even though Jono Carroll only has an 18% finishing prowess. We still have Tevin Farmer here, who needs to be very careful, play behind the trap, fight behind the jab, and use his defense to win this fight. What do you see the key to victory for Tevin Farmer?
Oh, this is going to be a tough one for Farmer. Trust me. I mean, Jono Carroll is he's not weak. I mean, his last fight against Guillermo Brinois, it was a very interesting fight. I mean, like you said, he presses forward. He's going to be pressing Tevin Farmer the entire fight. He seems like he has a really hard chin. So and Farmer doesn't have a lot of power. So I think this fight is definitely going to go the distance. It's definitely going to go 12 rounds. So I'm very interested to know if Farmer is going to be able to, take the power of Carroll for 12 rounds and maintain his slick style of boxing for 12 rounds. I think he's definitely going to win off of points. I don't think he has the power to knock Carroll out, but it's going to be very, very interesting. Very interesting fight.
Definitely. Seeing Farmer's last fight against Francisco Fonesca and the way he outclassed him just in every aspect, on the inside, on the outside, footwork, everything. He's going to need to use all of that to beat Jono Carroll. And I believe that his keys to victory is going to have to make this an ugly fight. He's going to have that brawler mentality. He's going to have to take a few punches to get his big bombs off and just make it ugly for Farmer. And really, truly test that chin of his and his heart. And it should be a very interesting fight. It's his third title defense as well. And so this is a legacy fight for him, and continuing to establish that brand and hopefully getting that big fight with either Lomachenko or Gervonta Davis. And so, it will be in Philadelphia. It's going to be his first title defense in Philadelphia, so that's exciting for him as well. Big Irish community out there, and so Jono Carroll should get some love as well out there. And you have any keys to victory for Jono Carroll?
Jono Carroll just has to stay aggressive.
Hmm.
You know, I think he has to get on the inside. You know, Farmer is slick.
Oh yeah.
Don't try to, he can't try to box Farmer. You know, Farmer's a far better boxer than him. So he has to get on the inside, make it rough, you know, go to the body early, try to wear Farmer out in the early rounds so, he can try to take over the later rounds when Farmer gets tired. I mean, that was a big problem early on in Farmer's career, getting tired. He couldn't go the distance, and he's improved since then. You know, he lost 4 of his first, I think, 7 or 8 fights. And he's improved a lot since then. He's been able to show that he can go 12 rounds, you know. But Carroll has to attack his body early on. And Farmer was very impressive in his last fight against Fonseca. It was a very interesting fight. Fonseca is a very underrated fighter. He came to fight, and Farmer showed his championship style of boxing that night.
Man, I definitely agree with that. Against Fonseca, I was very impressed on how he slowed him down with the body shots that he was giving him. He was left hooks, left straights, right hooks to the body, everything to the body, uppercuts to the body, and I believe that that's going to be the way to slow down Jono Carroll. Is get him to the body early, slowing him down and making him tired. And possibly Tevin Farmer doesn't have a high finishing radius as well, but I believe that he will be able to have the potential opportunity to finish Carroll if he gets to the body early and sticks to that game plan. I believe that will be the biggest part of his game plan, is hitting him.
Let me ask you a question. What do you think that this fight will do for Farmer's career if he's able to win against Carroll?
Well, giving Carroll his first loss, giving anybody their first loss is pretty big. Fighting undefeated fighters, we see a lot of fighters not fight. You know, this is still kind of early in Tevin Farmer's career. He's taking up these big challenges like he did at the beginning of his career, and that's why he accumulated those 4 losses and a draw within his first 12 fights. And so for this fight, it's just keeping his name out there, establishing those victories, making himself well known out there in the boxing community, and so that he can get those money fights versus Lomachenko and Gervonta Davis. I think those 2 fights are going to be the big legacy fights that put him up, in that pound for pound race. But as of now, Jono Carroll is a great test. I think that he comes in there with a lot of heart, a lot of courage, gritty attitude, and that's something that you need to go against and test yourself against to see if you are what you say you are. How about you? What do you think this does for Tevin Farmer's legacy?
I think this fight is gonna do a lot for Tevin Farmer. I mean, I feel like Tevin Farmer has been fighting the best fighters in his division. Jono Carroll is ranked number 4 according to the IBF. I know that Lomachenko and Gervonta Davis have both fought Pedraza. Tevin Farmer fought Pedraza and lost to Pedraza early on in his career before he actually became the Tevin Farmer that we know. Lomachenko and Gervonta Davis fought Pedraza more recently. They beat Pedraza. But other than Pedraza, I think Pedraza's the best fighter that all 3 of them have fought. But I think that Tevin Farmer has, fought the better fighters out of the 3. Between him, Lomachenko, and Gervonta Davis. You compare Jono Carroll to the last person that Gervonta Davis knocked out in the first round. I don't even remember his name. Tevin Farmer has, the better track record against, and it has more competition. So, I think this fight will do a lot for his career. I think, as long as he continues to keep fighting top fighters, and continues to keep winning, the sky's the limit for Tevin Farmer.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that Tevin Farmer needs to make a statement for him to actually get up there and catapult himself up into the upper echelon of the super featherweight division?
I think he just needs to keep doing what he's been doing. Farmer, like I said earlier, he's not a power guy. He's not a Gervonta Davis to knock you out in the first round or you know, at Lomachenko, but you know, he's a slick style. You know, he likes to play around. He likes to have fun in the ring. I think he just needs to keep doing what he's doing. He's entertaining that way. If he keeps doing what he's doing, he's definitely going to get those money fights pretty soon. Yeah, so it's going to be one hell of a fight coming St. Patrick's Day, and a great card, and we're really looking forward to it.